Good morning, everyone. This is Linda. I hope you're having a beautiful morning. Today is Saturday, February 1. Yeah, guys, I'm having a beautiful morning. And if you didn't know, I'm feeling good. Yeah. So, listen, guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I will be sharing my Zone 9 garden. But today is just a little different because, I put up um, that if anyone wanted to know anything about me, I was going to have a Q&A. And today is the day. So I do have some questions. I didn't need, a whole bunch of them. Just a couple questions is good with me. Yeah. But I hope all is well. I want to thank you all. Now I do have the questions written down on some notes that I have right in front of me. Okay. All right, guys. I had to go get the right questions. That was some questions, but that was not the right ones. But here we go. So the first question came from Just Peachy D. Speaking of Peachy D, I want to give away from Just Peachy D. That video is on my other channel, the New Orleans Garden and Family. I'm gonna put a link to that video in the description box. But this is one of my gifts that she sent me, and the earrings to go with it. Thanks, honey. I love it. I love it. But Just Peachy D asked the question. She said, what are some of your loves and passions besides gardening and singing? Yeah, she said, I guess it would be makeup. Or do you have any other talents that you're hiding from us? Oh, well, I love to write, of course. I love to write. Another thing that I do love is I love to play golf. Yeah, I love to play golf. So I told a story a while ago that when I was young. Now, my father is one of 16 and my mother is one of 16. So I had and we all lived in the same community in Holly Grove, just all in the same community, right? So I had one uncle, his name, we called him Mason. Don't ask me, y'all. I was born into it. His nickname was Mason. But my Uncle Mason, he loved golf. That was his thing. His passion was golf. He spent hours and hours on a golf course, right? As a matter of fact, in Audubon Park, that's where he played golf. So he would come home with all these golf balls. Now, I'm a kid, like, 9, 10, I guess, somewhere around in the area. But I used to love to take his golf balls and cut them. And at that time, they were just like one huge rubber band just wrapped around. And I would cut it and just watch it just it would just go crazy in my hands, and I used to love that stuff. So I would get all his golf balls and cut them up. I would cut them up and just, here I go. And my uncle, it would just drive him crazy, crazy. Which I can imagine it would. But this one particular day, here I am just going crazy with these golf balls in my head, right? And here come my uncle. He said, Linda, what am I going to do? What must I do to make you stop cutting up my golf balls? So I said, teach me to play. And that's what he did. First, he taught me the etiquette of golf. He taught me how to be quiet, keep still. That was hard. He taught me what's a par, what's a bogey, what's an eagle, just all the golfing etiquette. I loved it. So I still love golf today. I do play. I used to play a lot more than what I do today, but so playing with some ministers pastors of some churches. It's not a good thing, y'all. But anyway, so that's my other love that I have. I love golf and I love writing music. I have written some songs. Yeah. So I have this question from Marie Curry. Marie says, have I ever made a family, went back in my family tree? What did I find in my family? What kind of characters did I find in my family tree? What I found in my history is that I found a lot of musicians, singers, and gardeners. Also, another thing that I learned from my grandmother is that her grandmother came to America by way of Jamaica. Now, did I ever look into that any further? I did not. But those are the characters I found. A little this and a little that. Sal says, what inspired me to start gardening? Yeah, well, I just grew up with gardening in my community, and so it was just something that was embedded in me. And then, when I was traveling and singing and working, and I couldn't have that garden that I really wanted, I always had something growing on the porch, on the balcony, something always, some herbs, some flowers, something was always growing somewhere. But I didn't have the time. I would leave the country for a month at a time. So no one take care of my garden the way I take care of my garden. So I didn't try to start that garden until I hung everything up and I'm like, All right, it's my time. Todd, backwoods living. Todd. Now, guys, if you all don't know Todd does trapping animals. Yeah, this is what he do for a living. And he tell you, if you have a problem with, catching critters, don't watch his videos. I love it. Now, Todd asked me these, 4 or 5 questions, but Todd doesn't look like the person that talk a lot, and when I seen all this question from him, I'm like, wow. But I'm with you, Todd. Okay, let's go. First he said, how long have I been singing? Well, I've been singing a long time, ever since I was a kid. I don't remember what age it was I started singing, and I know I started singing in my grandmother's house around the piano where my grandfather was playing, because every evening or so, all of us would get together. All of us, like 30 children or so, getting around this piano and singing. The one thing that I love the most is harmony. As I grew up, I realized that I did have a gift and that God did bless me. And yeah, I could sing good by myself. I could. But I sing so much better with my family. So much better. So much better. Because I love the sound of harmony. I love harmony. And so when I grew up, that's what we did. It was just something about just amazing. Music was in the house all the time. Not necessarily a radio. It was a voice. It was a piano. It was a guitar. Yeah. Yeah, so that's when I started singing. How long did I tour when I was singing? So my aunts, they were accustomed to singing in churches, and I love that. But I figured that if they wanted to make money and make a living off it, they had to move. We started singing at Jazz Fest. We started singing at Tipitina's. Now, some of these names of these places, if you Google it, you know what I'm talking about. But if you're from New Orleans area, then you know what I'm talking about. We sang at the French Quarter Festival. The House of Blues, many Sundays. So, matter of fact, I just sung at the House of Blues. It's always fun. And then we met this man. He came out to one of our festivals and he asked me, have I ever thought about traveling to Europe? Now, our first trip to Europe was in 2007. And we traveled to Europe at least 6 or 7 times. Stopped going every year because my grandkids staying away for a month, and I leave in December and I don't come home till January. So I miss, first of all, I spend my birthday in Europe, I spend Christmas in Europe, and I spent New Year's in Europe. Not that it's not a great place to be, but when I became a grandparent, I wanted to be with my grandchildren. So Todd says, what is my favorite vegetable to grow and what got me into YouTube? So my favorite vegetable to grow, I haven't grown it yet. Not yet. I'm going to let you know, Todd. But I haven't dropped that seed yet. But I'm looking for what got me into YouTube. I guess what got me into YouTube is just that I just wanted to document everything. And if you look back at my very first video, I was feeling really low at that time because I had just lost my aunt. She was like a second mother to me, and I needed something. And I knew that going back to the garden was where I wanted to be. So I wanted to document that. There's YouTube. But I was on YouTube a long time. If you look at my other channel, New Orleans Garden and Family, you will see I started that channel back in 2008, 2009, somewhere like that. But I was just doing it just to put up videos of the group singing. Yeah. All right. So Todd says, have I ever been to Kentucky? I went through Kentucky, Todd. Yeah, I never stopped. But Kentucky was the first place I seen tobacco growing. I didn't know what it was. I was like, I asked the people, hey, what is that growing out there? It says tobacco. I'm like, okay. But yeah, I never stayed in Kentucky. But it looks beautiful. Looks like a beautiful place. Yeah. Then Todd's last question is so funny because he said something about my age. He says, what's my age? He said he knows that I'm younger than him or older than him. But anyway, Todd, if you really want to know, my birthday was December 11th and I turned 63. I'm 63, Todd. I hope you all enjoyed it. All right, guys, you all have a wonderful day. Thank y'all for the questions. Later, y'all.